but the production cost on Charlie Wilson is at least 40,000. So if you do the 40,000 and then you add on his 65,000 on top of that, and then the rental of the venue and everything else, just to be in the space and to produce what you do in the advertisement, you're looking at about a $200 to a $250,000 show. So you cannot get those type of shows for $10.
The kibbles and bits. Come
You
on.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we have to really learn how to invest in what we really put value in.
Well, and as saints of God, we want to be the light, we want to be the salt of the earth. We want to put out positive imagery, music. That means that we should invest in. Because we are trying to save people, we're trying to encourage people, we're trying to inspire people.
Yeah, so that's what we want to just encourage everybody today, is that, as we begin to bring these venues, as we begin to bring these artists to San Diego, because, this is IGAM Friday, and we're going to continue to support independent gospel artists. And Robert Earl Dean, with that in mind, we have a great artist with us today.
Yes, he's a friend to GODRadio1.com. This is not his first time, and we're excited that he has some new music that we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about some great things he's doing currently. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our brother from right up the street in Los Angeles, California, Mr. Freddie Moore, FM2. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning Show.
What's going on, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here with you all on this morning. How is everything going with you?
Man, it's Friday. Everything is good. We're excited about 2024 already.
Absolutely. I mean, we are in 2024. Isn't that a blessing?
It's a blessing. So many that we know didn't make it, but God allowed us to be here.
Absolutely. And we're just thankful,
And we appreciate God for his mercy and grace, because it wasn't because we were so good that he allowed us to be here.
Oh, no. It wasn't that. It's just him.
Just him being him.
Absolutely.
So good morning to you, brother. How's everything up in the LA area? Am I right?
Yes. Good morning. Everything is good. Everything is good. We just moving around. Weather is pretty good today. I think the high is going to be a good 60, 70 degrees. So, we're in California, so we don't. This time of the year, we barely see too much of it being really, really cold. Tomorrow is going to give us a little bit of rain, but we're good over here. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a beef with you this morning.
No beef today. This is our family.
But I got some things to say.
But he's our family.
I know, but I still got some things to say.
Okay, well, get it out. Get it out.
I just wanted to say, just for the record, even though y'all might have the most Mexican restaurants in the country, and we're number 3, y'all number 2, and they said Texas was number 1, someplace in Texas. I still will you let me finish my beef?
That Texas stuff.
Let me finish what I've got to say. I just want to say that we honor you all in LA, but you tell everybody in LA if they really want some good tacos, there ain't nothing like coming to San Diego, because we right next to the border. So we got some of the tacos that will make you come back to go home and be like saying, you need to shut it down, because I went to San Diego and they are truly the capital of Mexican food.
Ask Tanya DeCure.
Yeah, I just had to say that.
But ask Tanya DeCure. She comes from Pasadena to get our blessed tacos.
We ain't talking about nobody. We talking about, I just need to get FM2, because I bet y'all could eat a rolled taco.
Oh yeah. Listen, this is the thing. Tacos are amazing. Mexican food is amazing. Shout out to Mexican food, because if you're from California, any part of California, you know what good Mexican food is.
Yeah.
And so when you're in Southern California, like you said, it's a Mexican restaurant on every other corner or every corner, So I too am a Mexican food lover. And so San Diego, I will come down and make sure that I try the tacos of whatever restaurant you're telling me in the next time that I'm in town, because I love Mexican food too. I talk to my friends that are from the East Coast and the South and things of that nature that have moved from California. and they can't wait till they get the opportunity to come back to California so they can get the real Mexican food, because they put like sandwich cheese
Yeah.
on their tacos and their
Yep.
enchiladas back
Uh,
south and east.
Mhm.
That's wrong.
what?
You don't do
It's an abomination.
What?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That just messed up the whole experience. So
Yeah.
if you don't
Sandwich
got no
cheese?
sandwich cheese, like the little
Yeah,
squares, like
square.
And you know,
it's
I
just so
wanted to,
sad. It's
yeah.
so unfortunate for them.
That's crazy.
I wanted to shout out to all my Latino family
Mhm.
because I found I was introduced to a new taco shop just recently, and
Okay.
they had a burrito on there that was a cauliflower, broccoli, and vegetable uh, um, uh,
Burrito.
uh, burrito. And when
Mm.
and everybody said, I'm trying to tell you, it's the bomb. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. But when I tell you them folks seasoned that burrito so good, I thought I was eating carne asada and pollo asada while I was eating it. I said, oh my.
No meat?
It was no meat, but it tasted
But it
and
tastes like it
flavored
was.
just like it.
Oh my, I want a pollo.
Yeah. So with that being said, that I just had to say that, because they made it national news, and I just had to put the correction in that y'all good.
Absolutely.
Y'all good,
Absolutely.
but y'all got to come a little bit closer to the border.
Everybody knows that.
Come a little bit. Come on down the freeway just a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Right.
Yeah. So man, one of the things I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you because you have been one of those artists that, as you built your career, your foundation is that you're a big supporter of other artists as you have built your career. So let's just talk about being an independent artist, but also being so secure what God has called you to do that you've been able to help other people.
Absolutely. I think that it's very important as being an artist to support other artists as well. Because the fact of the matter is we are all doing the same thing, and there should always be one goal.
Mhm.
And that one goal is to bring people closer to Christ, or to just let them experience the God in you that you are offering to them. So I always say to my colleagues, to partners and friends in the industry, I always want to make sure that we do that. You know what I'm saying? So when there are individuals that are within the town, or San Diego, close to where you can get to,
Mhm.
I always try to make sure that I support them as long as I'm at home, because a lot of times I'm not at home. So and that's a blessing to be able to say that, especially in this day and age, that and what we're doing and how it's been done. With COVID coming in, it slowed down for a moment. It let us learn a new way to be able to minister to people, to God's people. And so with now things being a little bit more open, we're a little bit back outside,
Right.
or we're back outside, as some say. It is definitely important for us to support and show that unity within the gospel community, especially within the California area. Not discrediting any other areas,
Right.
but of course, we want to be able to support home.
Mhm.
California is a very big state, and we are, in a sense, on our own, especially when it comes to the gospel community, because we're so far
Far
from
away.
everything else.
Mhm.
So it's very important for us to make sure that we support, that we, encourage and push other gospel artists that are within this industry. So yeah, that's always been my thing. I've seen both of you at different events throughout the Southern California area.
Mhm.
And so, and you guys have always been very supportive of me. It's y'all not that those shady radio jocks or anything like
Mhm.
that. Every time we see each other, it's always love. So I support that. I mean, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I appreciate that, because anytime that I've seen either of you out, it's been that since day one.
Yeah.
And I thank you all for spinning my music, for supporting my ministry, and for giving me this platform to be able to speak to your listeners, and for them to be able to connect with me and listen to what God has given me through ministry.
Well,
So.
I gotta say this because I think it's important that you understand that you got some bangers that bang for you, and we came across you by way of Shauna Dindy.
Absolutely.
She
Absolutely.
was like, we were live, and she said, "You don't have this, I'm gonna send it to you."
Sure
And,
did.
and she's like, "You need to do this, you need to do this," and we loved it so much
Mm-hmm.
because it's exciting when other artists are excited about other people,
Mm-hmm.
and they just literally say, "Hey, y'all got to check this one out." And we heard you. It's like, "Oh, we got to get an interview and everything else." So this is what independent gospel music matters is all about.
Yes.
Is us
Yeah.
getting excited about each other, and if we got a connection with somebody on radio or TV, we calling them not just for us, but we call them for our brothers and sisters, saying, "Man, have you
Absolutely.
checked this out?" So I had to say that she called us up. I called her the banger, and said, "You got to check it out." And she immediately sent us your
Sure did.
project,
Sure did.
and so I had to shout her out because she loved her some
No,
FM2.
no, no, no.
Well, I had seen him around, and I didn't really know him, but I knew of him.
Mm-hmm.
But once I met him, it was like I knew him forever. Um, you see this big surge of gospel music being big again on the West Coast, and I thank God because if you think back to the early '80s and '70s, you had Keith Pringle and the Pentecostal Community Choir, Lonnie
Yeah.
Morgan and the Voices in Praise, Kurt Carr Singers, Southern Cal, L.A. Messengers, Love
LA
Center,
Mass.
Andre
Yeah.
Cross, L.A. Mass, James Cleveland, and his different groups.
Yeah.
We kind of, I don't say we stopped, but it wasn't as big as it once was with them doing music. Now you're
Hmm.
seeing more recordings coming out. Let's talk about this big surge that's happening on the Western region.
I'm excited. This is my thing. I live on the West Coast.
Yes,
I'm always rep the West
me
Coast.
too.
I am a West Coast boy. I am from California. I was born and raised in Sacramento, California, and then I moved to Southern California back in '04. And I'm gonna always ride for California because this is home. No
Right.
matter if I move anywhere else or go anywhere else, it's always gonna be I'm gonna always be a California boy.
Yes, sir.
And so for me, I definitely appreciate what we have over here. So many times because my choir is a, Midwest, East Coast feeling choir,
Hmm.
from the sound that I've created, um, that still doesn't discredit where I'm from. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when we're out on the road and we're back on the East or Midwest or even in the South, they'll say, "Y'all are not from California." But then when they see us, they see, like see the presentation, they say,
Wow.
"Oh no, y'all from California because you do this or y'all do
Hmm.
that or da, da, da."
Hmm.
But y'all don't sound like y'all from California. I mean, sometimes you only have nine singers and y'all sound like a full choir, and it's not, I don't know where or how it's become such a like not a battle or not a like not even, a hood thing or
Hmm.
anything to
Hmm.
that nature. It's just been this thing like, California singing has always been like breathy, very airy. The range has been incredible.
Hmm.
If you listen back to the Hawkins, I mean, when they start singing that and they hit that special gift and they get into that
Right.
Jesus,
Right.
it's always been so very breathy, and it just rains. It rains, right? But then when you listen to the East Coast and they have this hard sound and this
Vibrato.
hard in the Midwest and all of that stuff. So California has a lane of its own.
Right.
And that's the thing. People always say, "Oh, I don't hear that much from California." Yeah, you may not hear that much from California now, but there's been so many artists that has paved the way for us,
That's right.
to the ones that are coming up now. And so even with me, my on my very first record, I did a remake of "Love Lifted Me," and that was definitely to show and pay homage to the LA Mass Choir
Oh yeah.
because one, I'm from LA now,
Hmm.
I'm here.
Hmm.
And so why not be able to represent if God has given me the platform and the opportunity to be able to show his people
Hmm.
that California is still around
Hmm.
and that California still has great music to offer you all. Why not show and pay homage to an individual or to a ministry that has done so many things for us already.
Yes.
You know, so definitely shout out to LA Mass Choir, Donald Taylor,
Yes.
and all other choirs and ministries that are within the California area. You know, we over here and we doing it.
Yes,
You
we
know what
are.
I'm saying?
Yes, we are.
We're on our own in a sense,
Yeah.
you know, but we are definitely trying to reach God's people. So yes.
Yes.
So let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
We say choir. You know, we saw an age for many years that everybody was going from being a choir director all the way down to ensembles,
Praise
all
team.
the way down to I want to be a solo artist. So it's me and them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How have you kept the choir going with everybody, with even with churches not having the budgets to fly people the way they used to fly and to travel people? How have you kept your choir going, and how have you pastored your choir through what we would call the insidious mess that could happen when you bring a group of people together?
You took my question. We don't want to court though. Praise the Lord.
You took the question. You took the question. Well, listen, this is the thing. I have been doing music since I was 6 years old. I've been singing in choirs and groups since I was 6. My main thing has been back in 2015, I was doing singing background vocals for an artist by the name of Trent Von Lee. And I was a part of his group, which is Great Praise. Shout out to them if they're listening. And during this time, I was out and, you know, we were traveling, doing ministry and all of those things. And I was like, you know, my manager, Marcus Bishop Management, shout out to him as well. He asked me while we were out on the road, because he also managed Trent, and he was like, Freddie, how about, you know, why you never started a choir? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, you know. And he was like, are you sure? He was like, you know, I really think that you should think about that, you know, like really think about it and see, you know, pray about it and talk to God and see about it, right? So I said, yeah, I'll pray about it, but nah, I don't want to do that. So then a couple months passed and he asked me again. He was like, you know, listen, if you was to start a choir, who would you have in your choir? So he was like, you just write your names down as to who you would have, you know. And so I started putting
I'm not
names.
mad because my name wasn't on the list. I ain't mad, but go ahead.
Praise the Lord.
But it's there in spirit.
See, that's right. See,
I felt that.
So you're part of the ministry some kind of way.
Yes. And so, you know, he told me, he's like, write down your names that you would have in your choir. So I wrote these names down, and he was like, you know, what do you think about it? You don't think that you should do it again? And so at that moment, my prayer was to God. I said, God, if this is what you have for me, make it easy. I'm not saying that there's not going to be bumps in the road and that you're not going to have your trials and tribulations, because we all have those. And at that moment, I was like, God, just make it easy. So when I wrote those names down, Marcus did a meet and greet with all of the members. And the meet and greet was to, you know, inform everybody that I was starting a choir and he had a new artist. And so, you know, they came in and, you know, we was at the venue and I'm walking around, I'm frying chicken, and nobody, now mind you, nobody knows.
Wait. You walk around frying chicken?
Yeah, he's a cook.
I mean, yeah, you know, I do a little bit in the kitchen. You know,
there was some anointing when I heard fried chicken.
Yes.
I said, "Oh my Jesus!"
But you've been delivered from it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But you know, that's a ministry in itself. The chicken ministry.
Yes.
All the heap was frying the gospel bird.
Yes.
Okay, go on, tell the story.
That's it. That's
my
it.
attention.
You got his attention. He loved chicken.
And so I'm, you know, walking around and everybody's seeing me and we're talking, and because majority of these people I've been either in ministry with or friends with for years, you know, basically since I moved to Southern California. And so nobody knew that it was me that was the artist, you know, or that is the director of this choir. So you know, Marcus did his spiel and was telling everybody, thank you for coming. And then he explained and introduced me as the artist. And so everybody's like, what is you? Is you? Oh man, yeah, definitely. I'll be a part. All these things, right? But it's just because of my heart. That's the thing that people wanted to follow my ministry or be a part of my ministry based on me being a person, the person that I am, and how they love on me and things to that nature, and how I love on them, and just all of that stuff. So they was telling me, like so many of them was like, yo, I'm not doing ministry. I go to church. I sit in the pews. I don't do ministry no more. I've done all of that, in my younger years or all of those things. But they was like, because I trust you, because I trust your vision, because I want to see you succeed. I want to see these dreams come true for you. I will be a part of your ministry.
Wow.
And so said all of that to say, I've always been a choir head, right? I've always loved choir music. I can tell you the very first concert that I went to was the Hezekiah Walker concert.
Wow.
So I'm 40 years old, soon to be 41 years old, and I still remember this concert back in the day,
Wow.
So and I had traveled to Oakland, California to hear them and see them. My mom had took me, to hear Hezekiah Walker and Love Fellowship Crusade, and I remember the first time I heard him, at that time, Bishop Walker was married to Monique Walker,
Right.
and she sung this song for what was it? Not Try Christ, but I can't remember the song.
God of a Second
Oh,
Chance.
no, it was the one. It was the record before that. It was the record before that. It was the Morehouse record, but I can't remember the song right now. But I remember her singing and ministering to God's people. And like I said, I'm 40 years old now. And so this was at least 35 years ago. And so I remember these things. And so I've always been a choir head. I love Mississippi Mass Choir. I love James Hall Worship and Praise, Ricky Dillon, all these things. And so I always said that if I had my own choir back then, I said I always wanted it to be a mixture of Richard Smallwood and Vision,
Right.
James Hall Worship and Praise, and Donald Lawrence and Tri-City Singers. And so that was back then, that was my thing, though I wanted the mixture of that. And so saying all that to say, I'm a choir head. And when God gave me the opportunity to do ministry, I said I didn't want nothing less than a choir. And that's no diss to praise teams. That's no diss to groups, chorals, anything to that nature. I love them all. It's room for us all. But there is nothing like a choir. There is nothing like what choirs do for ministry, especially within the church. When you pull this, when you sit in the pews and you're at church and you listen to the choir get ready to minister before the word comes, they just set it up so easily for God's word to come on in there and just move his people. So choir has always been my thing, and choirs are not going anywhere. Okay?
Nowhere.
They may condense it, they may bring it down. I mean, even with me, I have a choir of 28 members, right? And there are times that I have to move with 6. There are times that I have to move with 9.
Yeah.
There are times that I have to move with 3.
Yeah.
I'm still going to call them 3 FM2 and intentional because they are a part of this choir. So regardless, y'all, choirs are here to stay. I know that was the long version of the answer.
But no, that's good.
Long, and I apologize for it being long because I tried to shorten it down. Okay.
But I just want to say that I'm going to disagree when they say choirs are not going anywhere. I'm going to disagree. And will you stop interrupting me and let me disagree right quick?
Well, I'm just commentating.
I'm going to disagree and say the choirs are going everywhere. We are back on the road. We are
absolutely.
People are requesting the choir sound.
My God,
the robe companies are happy again.
The movies,
because they're seeing that come back. Movie soundtracks, everything. So I will tell people now that there are a couple of things I explain to people. One, I knew choirs were coming back, but with another thing that people are not paying attention to is groups are coming back and the solo gigs are not being there as much as people want to hear groups again.
Come on.
And so we're always telling artists to realize that's why when you see solo artists come together and they get 3 people together and they go on tour together, because they understand the power of the group.
Collaboration.
And the collaboration moving forward. So let me ask you
Absolutely.
this question: what's up next for Freddie Moore the second, uh, in intentional? Because you got this new song out, but what's up next? Because I know that y'all in in Hollywood and we in Sandywood, so we always got something on the burner. So what's on the burner for y'all?
So, what's coming up next? As you stated, I have a new single out. It dropped in November, and that is "There Is None Like Him," and it's featuring me. You know, those lead vocals have me on it.
All right, come on through.
It is right. I mean, hey, you might as well. Every now and again, you got to go on and step out and just do what you got to do.
That's
You
right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I stated, the single is out, and then this year, I know, probably the last time y'all talked to me, it was, yeah, that record's coming out, but everything is in God's
In
timing.
God's time.
It's in God's timing. Hit some bumps in the road, and we thank God for those bumps. But now we've smoothened those bumps out,
Mm-hmm.
and so second quarter this year, I will have the new project out, and definitely that's going to be a thing. So I'm excited about that. Next month we will be traveling to St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and so that's exciting for us. Shout out to my producer, one of my producers, Darnell
Yes,
Davis.
sir.
I'm going to be out there with him. He does a gospel brunch on the third Sundays of every month
Mm-hmm.
at a venue there. And so anytime anyone is in that area, please make sure you reach out to him, show him some love, and make sure that you attend. But
Yes.
yeah, FM2 and Intentional will be the featured guest for the Sunday of the 18th of February.
Mm-hmm.
And we are so excited. I'm taking the camp. We're just going to have us a good time there with God's people, be able to minister to them, and that's the thing. And then, of course, we're doing some promotional stuff for the single throughout the next few months, and just moving forward. So
So
right now, the main thing is basically getting the project out
Who
because
produced it?
uh, Darnell Davis produced, as well as Bennett Paysinger is a co-producer, as well as Michael Burrell as a
Ooh, we got
co-producer.
so
some good ones.
so my question to you is simply this: I ain't trying to get a gig or anything, but I want to know who's doing the video for this.
The video for the entire
No,
project,
just
For the
for
single.
there's none like him.
it we're in the talks of doing the video. We're in the talks of doing the video because, as you know, at this moment, visuals is everything.
Yeah.
You got to have some visuals to go with your product. So we definitely are looking to re-record like a video portion of that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably going to be during the time that we release the project,
Mm-hmm.
because of course we will do an album release and all those things. So it'll probably be during that time so that we could give you all some visuals to go with that song.
So I'm gonna give you uh, three free consultancy things right now. I want you
Okay.
to take it down. One for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Ghost. Praise the Lord.
All right, let's
Number
go.
one, you can always reach out to community colleges or colleges and see if you can get their interns because they all have to do internship projects and they have
Absolutely.
all the high end equipment and all the high end cameras and you can get a video done as a class project
Mm-hmm.
that won't cost
Okay.
you anything but some chicken.
Uh,
Number one. So that's the
Listen,
first
I
one.
can do that.
Yeah. And
You
then
can ask the intentional members. They'll let you know.
you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Number two is if you since the song is out, even though you haven't have the video out right now, you must create content, and all you got to do is have all your choir members do the song on their reel, and just start everybody singing it, and everybody you start challenging people to sing the song on the reels because those
Okay.
are spins.
Ah,
You feel what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so every time you get that 1 minute, you get that full spin. You feel what I'm
There we
saying? And then
Okay.
number two is always since you singing the lead on it, give it out there for other people to add their take onto your song. Those
There we
three
go.
things will consistently keep your song
Mm-hmm.
relevant on all the different medias. It will pull up your Spotify and everything else. And even though you don't have the full collateral, you can do it. What I call that guerrilla marketing, and it will still push your project up.
Well, I definitely thank you for all of those words, and I'm going to relay them to the team.
Because
So
those are doable.
Yeah.
Those are doable.
Absolutely. Very doable.
And the
Those
song
are,
was "Let Your Glory," Monique.
there it is. That's the one.
My head starts spinning.
Yeah, because I'm like, I just couldn't get it. But
She
yes,
got so many good ones.
I remember the record. At least I remember that part.
Live in Atlanta.
It was
Yes.
live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yes,
Well, man, this is your home station on the West Coast. Anytime that you get the project out or anything that we can do to support you, we're definitely going to do it.
You need to come to San Diego.
Yeah, we need to.
We are
get you down
definitely
there and have those
in
conversations.
talks of that. We are definitely in talks.
And that's Robert. I want you to know that was Robert's direction to me to say, and you need to get it done. If you go back and look at the video, you're gonna see him look at me when he said that. That's him giving me instructions on what he wants done next.
Don't do that.
So I just want everybody to know that there's certain things that Robert
he's
do
trying
on
to put
the
me
air.
on the spot, and that's so unfair on this beautiful Friday morning.
But then everybody, when y'all roll the video back and watch what he said and how he looked at me, and the look was like your mama do in church, and that's your assignment. Since that's your assignment.
I come
get it done.
I come in love and peace, everybody.
I come in love and peace on this Friday morning.
Yeah.
However, comma, get it done.
Yeah. Introduce the song and let us play it for the people.
All right. Well, you are listening to FM2 and Intentional with their new single, and it's called "There's None Like Him," featuring the one and only FM2.
Right here on GODRadio1.com.
That's it.